Everyone, it's 5:30. I'm going to call this April 2nd, 2028 meeting to order. If you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
Here.
Alderman Barella. Here. Alderman Rucker.
Here.
Alderman Collins. Here. Alderman Morose.
Here.
Alderman Osteen. Mayor Harmonson.
Here. I was informed Alderman Osteen will be here, but just a few minutes late. So, isn't that correct, Alderman Hoffman?
Correct.
Very good. All right, we're going to move on to citizens communication. This is a time set aside on the agenda for citizens and visitors to address the mayor and the board on any topic that is not a public hearing. For those here in person, speakers will be restricted to 3 minutes unless otherwise permitted. Minutes may not be donated or transferred from one speaker to another. Any questions or comments for the mayor and the board may be sent to the city clerk at tberreth@osagebeach.org no later than 10 a.m. on the board meeting day, the first and third Thursday of each month. Submitted questions and comments may be read during the citizens communication section of the agenda. The Board of Aldermen will not take any action on any item not listed on the agenda, nor will it respond to questions, although staff may be directed to respond at a later time. The mayor and the Board of Aldermen welcome and value input and feedback from the public. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board? All right, seeing none, we're going to move on to the bills list of, the minutes for the Board of Aldermen meeting, March 19th, 2026. Bills list to April 2nd, 2026. Any questions or comments on either of those items? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda of those two items.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, consent agenda has been approved. All right, a lot of reading tonight, so bear with me as we start. First one is Bill 26-17, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget, requesting a transfer of funds to increase personnel expenditures within the police department. Second reading. This is second reading. Police Chief Todd Davis, please.
Nothing further unless you have questions.
Comments, questions from the board? Seeing none. Is there a motion to approve second reading?
Motion approved.
Alderman Barella, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Collins, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Barella. Yes. Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
All right, Bill 26-17 passes second reading. Next bill, we have Bill 26-18, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget, approving the modification of the fiscal year 2026 employee pay plan of certain police department positions. Human Resource Director Maddie Moon.
Mayor, I think that's mine again.
That's yours? Okay.
Yes, sir. And I have nothing further unless you all have questions.
Comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Barella. Yes. Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Let me think what I'm voting on. Hang on. Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
All right, Bill 26-18 passes second reading also. Next, we have Bill 26-19, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget for the 2025 Blue Shield grant to account for expected revenue and expenditures not carried over in the fiscal year 2025. Chief Davis.
Again, I have nothing further unless you have any questions.
Seeing no questions from the board, do I have a motion to approve second reading 26-19?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Barella, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Bill 26-19 passes second reading. Next, we have Bill 26-20. This is my favorite one to read. Bill 26-20, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Chapter 125, Human Resource Systems, Personnel, Rules and Regulations, Section 125.015, Actions of Board. Copies of Rules and Regulations, Section 125.020, Definitions, 125.030, General Provisions, Section 125.050, Pay and Compensation, Section 125.070, Applications and Applicants, Section 125.090, Employment Lists, Section 125.100, Method of Filing Vacancies, Section 125.110, Probationary Period, Section 125.120, Attendance and Leave, Section 125.190, Training of Employees, and Section 125.240, Other Employee Benefits of the City Code as set forth. Maddie, I think this one is yours.
It is. I have nothing further to add, but happy to answer any questions.
Seeing no comments or questions from the board, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
So moved.
Alderman Morose, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Osteen, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Bill 26-20 passes second reading also. Next, we have Bill 26-21, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Chapter 125, Human Resource System, Personnel, Rules and Regulations, Section 125.020, Definitions of the City Code as set forth. Again, Maddie Moon, please.
Nothing further to add, but happy to answer anything.
Seeing no comments or questions, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Barella.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Bill 26-21 passes second reading. Next, we have Bill 26-22, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Chapter 125, Human Resource System Personnel, Rules and Regulations, and the policies associated with Chapter 125, Section 125.050, Pay and Compensation, Section 125.110, Probationary Period, and Section 125.230, Supplemental Policies. Maddie Moon.
Nothing else to add, but happy to answer anything.
Seeing no comments or questions, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Barella, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Bill 26-22 passes second reading. Next, we have Bill 26-23, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a 3-year contract with Unit Solutions, Inc. for budgeting software in amount not to exceed $39,115,000 annually. City Administrator Devin Lake.
I have nothing further this evening, but I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Alderman Collins.
I have a few questions. The first one is that on the blue sheet, it says that the pricing is only good till the end of March, but it's April. Do we still get the pricing?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And then I talked to Carrie Bell earlier today, and after that conversation, I have a few more questions. A couple of the things that we talked about that the software does that I didn't know that it was capable of is trends, using historical data for trends and forecasting. How much of our historical data gets uploaded in the implementation part of it?
As much as we want.
Okay, is there additional cost for how far back oh, okay,
Our encode goes back to 2007, correct? So we could go as far back as 07.
okay, that's awesome. And then is there a limit to how many users can use the software?
There is not.
And I assume that they're going to give full training?
Yes, they will.
Who all do you have going to that training? Is it?
Well, myself and Carrie Bell and April will do the implementation, and then once everything's implemented, they will do training for our department heads to be able to enter their own forecasting and new budgets for the new budget cycles. So it'll be
Okay.
all supervisory staff.
Can we on the board be part of that training so that we can?
Sure.
Okay, that'd be awesome. I appreciate it, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Rucker, got you by a hair. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Morose,
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman,
Yes.
Alderman Osteen,
Yes.
Alderman Barella,
Yes.
Alderman Collins,
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Bill 26-23 passes second reading. Next, we have Bill 26-24, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget for airport capital, Grand Glaze, and Lacey Fine Master Plan. Airport Manager Ty Dinsdale, please.
Nothing else to add, unless anybody has any questions.
Seeing no comments or questions, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Osteen, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Rucker,
Yes.
Alderman Morose,
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman,
Yes.
Alderman Barella,
Yes.
Alderman Osteen,
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Bill 26-24 also passes second reading. Last item of old business, we have Bill 26-25, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget for Lacey Fine Runway Project. Again, Ty Dinsdale, please.
Nothing further to add. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Seeing no comments or questions, your motion to approve second reading.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Barella,
Yes.
Alderman Morose,
Yes.
Alderman Osteen,
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman,
Yes.
Alderman Rucker,
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
All right, Bill 26-25 passes second reading. First item under new business, we do have a proclamation. It's National Public Telecommunications Week, which is very fitting. April 12th through the 18th, 2026. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. When an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is crucial to the protection of life and preservation of property. The safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Osage Beach 911 Communications Center. Public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. Public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing their information, and ensuring their safety. Public safety communicators of the Osage Beach Police Department have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. Each dispatcher has exhibited compassion and understanding and professionalism during the performance of their job in this past year. Now, therefore, I, Michael Harmison, Mayor of Osage Beach, Missouri, do hereby proclaim the week of April 12th through April 18th, 2026 as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. In Osage Beach, in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe. I witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and fixed the official seal of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri on this April 2nd day of April 2026. Very important, Chief, so thank you for all your staff. They got some out here?
Yep, Reagan's out here with us, one of the two working today.
We appreciate you, Reagan. Thank you so much. Did she want to say anything? Are you sure?
I think this is the quietest she's ever been.
All right. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Reagan.
All right, on to new business. I think this is going to be the Ron White show tonight, and I'm not talking about the comedian. Bill 26-28, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 4, Section 500.110, adoption of the International Mechanical Code, Section 500.120, 2018 International Mechanical Code. This is a first reading. Building official Ron White.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the board. The next 10 items are each of the individual codes that we have previously adopted, and I'm currently recommending updating. Right now, we're under the 2018 International Building, Electrical, Mechanical, Fire, and so on, and the 2017 National Electrical Code. My recommendation is to update to the 2024 codes with the 2023 National Electrical Code. These codes are adopted, or they are reprinted, reeditioned with modifications and clarifications by the International Code Council on a 3-year basis. However, myself and the other local jurisdictions have made it a practice of doing these adoptions every 6 years to keep everything uniform and to kind of help out with the contractors and the developers around here. So I am requesting authorization to update our adopted 2018 international codes and the 2017 National Electrical Code to the currently published 2024 International Codes and 2023 National Electrical Code. As per RSMO 67.280, public notice of this request was given and remained posted and open for discussion, questions, and comments since November 20th, 2025, that should say, I'm sorry, which far exceeds the minimum 90-day requirement. All the proposed codes and their amendments have been available for review. As we have done in the past, we will implement a phased enforcement schedule and continue to consider any and all proposed amendments. This has proven to be the most widely accepted practice over the years and avoids placing undue burden on the owners, contractors, designers, and developers. During that review period, I think we had 1 or 2 questions just needing clarification. There was no controversy on the items. The International Code Council, as I stated, publishes the codes on a 3-year cycle. And the City of Osage Beach and most surrounding lake area jurisdictions have made every attempt to maintain a 6-year cycle. This practice of the lake-wide collaboration and agreed upon amendments and uniform enforcement was implemented under the guidance and direction of the previous Osage Beach Fire Protection District Fire Chief, now Alderman Kevin Rucker, current Osage Beach Fire Protection District Fire Marshal Eddie Nicholson, and City of Osage Beach Building Department staff. I do know that a few of the local or surrounding jurisdictions have already updated to the 2024 codes. I spoke with the Camdenton building official today at a conference we attended. He is taking the same adoption to his board next week, and then the Lake Ozark Fire Protection District said that they will be doing the same later this summer into the fall. So the building department does recommend approval. And again, the same spiel for all 10, so I can go through that 9 more times if you'd like. I'm happy to talk. I'd like to change areas in the room though
We're
if I
okay
could.
with that, yeah, we're okay. Well, and Jeff Fisher and I went to a meeting the other day, and they advised us that Lake Ozark's doing the same thing right now too, so. Alderman Rucker.
Ron, if you would clarify and let the public know that if this passes tonight and if it passes at the next meeting, when will these go into effect?
The official date of enforcement says that it's April 17th, the following Friday. However, again, as we've done in the past, anything that's been in communications that we've received designs on, that we've got ongoing projects, nothing has to come up to this code. We understand that those projects are ongoing and bids have been made based on the 2018 version in the 17 National Electrical Code. So we do a phased approval, and again, for clarification on if there is there's not a strict, but let's just for example, the new codes takes out the requirement for a receptacle outlet in a kitchen island due to the accidents that have occurred over the years with people pulling or walking by pulling a cord off. So you're no longer required to put that in. If somebody puts that in, we're not going to say, no, you got to pull that out. That's we take those times to inform the public and say, hey, on the next job, do X. Hey, on the next job, do X. And we also cite the codes and the reasons why those codes have changed.
Thank you for clarification for that public.
Any other questions? Alderman Osteen.
Yes, just to clarify, Ron, any existing structures, pools, et cetera, are grandfathered from having to meet the new requirements, correct?
That is correct. Anything that has been constructed under previously adopted codes remains the same unless they tear down and rebuild or do substantial modifications. Then any of the modifications would be required to be done according to the new codes. But yes, everything
There'll be
is
no retroactive enforcement?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
Alderman Collins.
Is there somewhere that somebody could see what like a list of all of the changes?
Yes. I have a document. If anybody has any questions or if they want to see the specific changes and the amendments, we've got the amendments in the packet that we've made in conjunction with the local jurisdictions. But even Googling the code changes from the 2018 to the 2024, you get all kinds of sites that you can go to, and they explain what the different changes are.
Okay, and then I had one other question on the permit fees. Are these different? Are those changing also?
No, ma'am. The permit fees are the same. Since our permit fee structure is unique in that we utilize the estimated valuation of construction as the economy increases, our fees increase. So what may have cost $150,000 20 years ago now probably costs $4 million. I'm just kidding. But so we
Might not be far off.
yeah. So yeah, our fees adjust according to the estimated valuation. And to provide some clarity on that, if somebody comes in with a 10,000 square foot house and says it costs $200,000 to build that, right after they deny signing a contract with me to build some more, the International Code Council does produce a document approximately every 4 months that updates the estimated valuation of construction based on the building's use group and type of construction. And then I will go to that chart and figure cost per square footage to determine that estimated cost.
Okay, this is a conversation for a later day, but I would like to talk at some point in time about lowering the permit fees for houses under like $250,000 because there's a big push for more affordable housing, and if we could do something here to make that happen, that'd be awesome. But that's a conversation for a different day.
Yes, ma'am.
Alderman Hoffman.
What is that permit fee? About for 250,000 and below currently?
Right now, 200, well, and the way I answer everything code related, it depends. So a $250,000 residential house, the building permit would be $500. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I'm sure that's correct. Now, the fees that change are going to be your sewer development fee, your water impact fee. Those fees are going to be based on the number of bedrooms that you have for the water service, and then the sewer development charge. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who can. The sewer development charge is based on where you're located in the city, and it goes up the further you are away from our treatment plant because it takes more equipment to get that sewage to our treatment facility.
Okay, I'm with you, Alderman Collins. I hope you look into that. We do need to keep in mind that we can't lower them so low that we can't cover our costs, though. That's all I want to say about that.
I wasn't saying free.
Just putting it out there.
And Alderman Rucker over the years has requested studies to be done or everybody okay?
Sure.
Thought I heard something. Has requested us to do an audit of surrounding jurisdictions and what they charge. And the last 2 times, I think it may have been 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that was the last time we did that, and we have been in the middle each time. We've also got the city of Warrensburg that does that, and he reaches out, that building official reaches out statewide and then provides that. So I'm happy to provide any of that information to you all as well.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other comments, questions? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve first reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, there a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, we're going to, Bill 26-28 passes first reading. Next, we have Bill 26-29, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 2, Section 500.040, adoption of the National Electrical Code, Section 500.050, National Electric Code Amendment, Section 500.060, enforcement. Ron White.
How much would you like me to say on this? Just
Maybe ditto?
maybe ditto.
All right.
Yes, it's the
Comments or
same.
questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve first reading?
So move.
Alderman Morose, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, Bill 26-29 passes first reading. Next, we have Bill 26-30, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 1, Section 500.010, 2018 International Building Code, Section 500.020, 2018 International Building Code, adoption, first reading. Ron White?
I have nothing further to add unless you have more questions. Did that sound more professional? Oh,
That's
I
great.
knew I should have said
Alderman
ditto.
Rucker.
Ron, just if you can get it cleared up by the next meeting, the first blue sheet had the incorrect date of November of '26. The second one had '25. This one has '26. So we need to clear that up because just to make sure that the public is aware, all of these have been out there for their input since November of '25.
That is correct. Yes, sir. We'll see that that's
Even though
done.
the blue sheet might be incorrect, they've all been out there longer than they're required to for
Yes, sir.
input.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all. I just wanted
I'll
to
see that
clarify
that's
that.
done.
Very good. All right, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Barella, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, Bill 26-30 passes first reading. Next, we have Bill 26-31, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 7, Section 500.180, adoption of the International Fire Code, Section 500.190, jurisdictional titles, definitions, Section 500.200, International Fire Code amendments. Ron White, please.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Alderman Collins.
I actually have a question on this one, on the open burning. Is that different than what it has been?
No, ma'am. So the burn permits are required to go through the Osage Beach Fire Protection District. However, in the ordinance, it does reference or in the adopting ordinance, it references our open burning ordinance that is in existence now.
Okay, okay, so there's no change. Okay, thank you.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve first reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Collins, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, Bill 26-31 passes first reading. Next, we have Bill 26-32, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 8, Section 500.240, adoption of International Fuel Gas Code, Section 500.250, 2018 International Fuel Gas Code amendments. Ron White, please.
I have nothing further, sir.
You're getting better as you go along. Alderman Ha, any questions over here? All right, do we have a motion to approve first reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Ooh, Alderman Rose, gotcha. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, Bill 26-32 passes first reading. Next, we have Bill 26-33, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 5, Section 500.140, adoption of International Plumbing Code, Section 500.150, 2018 International Plumbing Code amendments. Ron White.
Nothing further, Your Honorable Mayor.
Comments, questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve first reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Barella, is there a second?
Second.
Was that Alderman Rose? All right, Alderman Rose. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, 26-33 passes first reading. Bill 26-34, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 3, Section 500.080, adoption of the International Property Maintenance Code, Section 500.090, 2018 International Property Maintenance Code. Anything, Ron?
No, sir.
Comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve first reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman, all those in favor?
Aye.
Bill 26-34 passes. Pretty quiet down there, Alderman Osteen. Next, we have Bill 26-35, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 1, Section 500.035, 2018 International Residential Code, adoption of Section 500.037, 2018 International Residential Code amendments. Ron White.
Nothing further, sir.
Comments or questions? Have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a
I'll
second?
second. There you go,
Alderman
Mr. Mayor.
Osteen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Bill 26-35 passes first reading. Next, we have Bill 26-36, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 1, Section 500.025, International Existing Building Code, adoption of Section 500.027, 2018 International Existing Building Code amendments. Ron White,
Nothing further.
comments or questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, Bill 26-36 passes first reading. Bill 26-37, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, adopting the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, 2024 edition, by creating new sections within Chapter 500, Article 1, 500.039, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, Section 500.040, amendments. Ron White, please.
I have nothing further to add.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Alderman Morose, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Barella, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, 26-37 passes first reading. That's it, isn't it, Ron?
Yes, I hope to see you all in 6 years so we can do this again.
All
How
right.
about 2 weeks?
Next, we have Bill 26-39, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with PayPoint HR LLC for the compensation study agreement in an amount not to exceed $37,500. Human Resource Director, Maddie Moon.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the board. So during the 2026 budget process, you all approved the amount of $32,600 to allocate for a citywide compensation study. I issued an RFP for the compensation study with 2 alternate bids included. We did receive 9 bids back in total, and after narrowing down and interviewing our finalists, I would propose our recommendation of PayPoint HR for this important endeavor of providing both the base bid of the citywide compensation study as well as alternate bid 2, which is a total compensation package analysis. After speaking with PayPoint and going through a bit of their methodology, they emphasize collaboration with their clients and the client's employees to develop practical, actionable recommendations and ensure their successful implementation. What stood out to me most about PayPoint HR is that they so heavily involve city employees' input throughout their analysis process. Frontline employees will be able to contribute to the data collected about their actual day-to-day work expectations. Department heads and direct managers will be involved in validating and reinforcing the real effort which goes into running their departments. And our goal with this process is to include this valuable information to create a holistic image of the role each of our employees play in keeping our city operational. I do believe that PayPoint HR will help us foster a workplace culture where our employees feel valued and engaged in public service. Their recommendations will provide a structured, actionable framework to improve and maintain our recruitment, retention, and compensation efforts. I believe they will be most effective in achieving their goal to equip the City of Osage Beach with a sustainable and competitive compensation strategy that supports long-term success in attracting and retaining top talent.
In turn, the inclusion of alternate bid 2, I believe, will greatly serve our city's retention and compensation efforts. This process will assess the full value of the city's compensation package, including both salary and benefits components such as health insurance, retirement plans, paid leave, and other offerings. A key objective would be to provide a holistic view of the city's total compensation to support employee retention, talent attraction, and effective communication of the city's investment in pay and benefits, and will include specific comparisons as well between the city's current retirement plan, which is serviced by Mission Square, with the value of a plan serviced under loggers, which is a very much emphasized data set that our employees are looking to have. Our belief is that this will also provide valuable insight into the city's efforts to provide a sound environment of financial and physical wellness opportunities for our employees, while contributing to a workplace culture of communication and transparency. While this portion of the scope of services does put us over the budgeted amount allocated under the job class compensation plan, GL, I would propose movement of funds from my department's training and conferences budget in the amount of $4,964 to utilize for this important assessment. I'm happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Comments from the board? Alderman Morose.
Is this a one-time charge?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Alderman Collins.
Okay, so I have a lot. Okay, so does this is only about compensation? It's not about staffing levels? Do we have the right people in the right positions, the right number of people? This is only compensation, is that correct?
So they will be looking at, essentially, I will be sending them all of the job descriptions that we have for each position. They will be able to, with the feedback of actual staff in those positions, to tell us if we have two positions that have very similar duties they're performing, would it be best to combine those into one position? They're not going to look at individual person's performance in that role. It's going to be looking at the position as a big overview, if that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that.
You are, I get it. And then I know that MML puts out their survey of, have you gone through that to see where we rank and pay at each position
Yeah.
with other similar municipalities?
Yes. So, and then that's something too that I can provide to PayPoint as a broad view reference for them. So I'm the one who completed that for the city's contribution to that. It is very much a high level. Everybody's kind of putting their information in and not so very consistently between everybody. Not everyone's jobs all have the same function. I mean, the city clerk for most smaller municipalities than us does the HR function, the city treasurer function. So it's very subjective to each location what those roles actually are. So that's the benefit of having a third party to go out and actually solicit these municipalities and ask for their job descriptions and more detail to actually pair everything up correctly.
And then I know when I read it, Jefferson City just had one done. Can we not start with theirs before we spend $37,000 on, because like it would be fairly the same geographical area. I know that they're a different city and they're a different size, different budgets. I know all of that, but it just, I feel like we might be able to get this information without doing a study at such a high cost. You can get back to me on that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No,
It's totally fine.
Try to think of the best way to respond. I mean, yes, I can look at other municipalities' studies if the full information is made publicly available. So the benefit with having someone who's looking specifically at us, yes, they are, and I should have added this in with your first question, they're going to be looking at position utilization from wide view. They are also going to be looking at specific employees with their length of tenure and their actual wage and position and telling us if that person is above or below where they should be at. So it is going to get more nitty gritty than just this is the right person in this, or this role is doing the right roles for what they need to be doing. It is going to be getting into more finer details specific to us that wouldn't necessarily be public information in another municipality's study.
Okay. So I'm going to oppose this right now. I think that we really should try to explore some of those other options before we spend the money on it. That's just me, but I'm happy to talk through it further.
This is something that by ordinance, we are required to review every position every 5 years. One thing I will add with PayPoint HR, they do also include staff training for future upkeep and implementation with it. So, I mean, there is the potential that if their process works really well for us, they can train me and Abby on it, that going forward, there's a potential to do this in-house rather than outsourcing it. Whereas we've previously, for the last 25 to 30 odd years, used CBIZ as our previous entity, that they did a full compensation package, is supposedly what they did in 2023 at the total cost of $18,000, and that was not a very detailed report in any way.
Can we see one of the completed ones that they've done for somebody else, like the whole complete report? And
I believe I have one in their bid that they submitted that I can share with you after this.
okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alderman Osteen.
Okay. So for the last 3 years, I have been a big champion of having surveys done or studies done on our staffing and our employment with the city. In fact, I believe it was 3 years ago in 2024, the board actually approved a comprehensive study for the entire city staff, which was all-encompassing. It was to include staffing levels, responsibilities, pay rates, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, in order to balance the budget, that approval was not part of the finalized budget because obviously we've got to budget expenses against projected income. After that fact, though, I started being more specific in my conversations regarding this, and really it was more departmental specific. Namely, I kept talking about I felt like we need to do a more comprehensive study on our police department because that comprises the majority of the staffing on a percentage basis for the city of Osage Beach. The last comprehensive study we did with the police force was in 2021? 18.
17.
Okay. So that was basically what I kept pushing after that fact was I'm all for these studies and getting third-party analysis, but I wanted to make them, once again, more department-specific, really in regards to the police department first, and then we trickle down from there. But the more I think about this, the more I'm opposed to a compensation study. I feel like our focus should be basically on getting studies done regarding our staffing levels, because we've not had one of those done in several years. And there's a domino effect on staffing levels versus salaries versus budgeting, et cetera. Once again, the last time one was effectively done with the police department was years ago. But we have been maintaining that as basically the dictate for how we staff that department. But we all are aware that in the last 3 years, 5 years, what is on the horizon, obviously, we're still sticking to this staffing level on the maximum amount of staff we should have on our police force. And I believe that data is so old that basically we're understaffed. But once again, it's a domino effect. Staffing levels dictate salary or salary increases, which dictate budgeting. So I feel like we're putting the cart before the horse, and we should start with the basics first. Let's make sure we're adequately staffed before we talk about what that looks like on an individual basis on benefits, staffing, et cetera. I feel like this money would be better used, at least starting with that baseline on, let's do review to make sure that we are correctly staffed to begin with. Then we talk about all the other things. That's all.
Alderman Rucker.
Well, I somewhat echo Alderman Osteen in the fact that we do have a need for both of them. I just feel like this one should come first. We've had, first of all, by ordinance, we're supposed to do it frequently. This was something that we've established and the city has a long time ago. And how it's been done has somewhat been changed over the years, but it needs to be done periodically. We need to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, but we also need to make sure that our staff is compensated for what they do. And to use another city's compensation study does not fit our need, because just because you talk to an employee of another city that's on the street department, doesn't mean they have the same responsibilities as what our street department employees do because of the roles that we give them. So I think there is a need to hone in on what each of our staff members do, even though they may have the same title, an assistant city clerk in the city of Osage Beach, or deputy, as I believe is the correct terminology. That deputy clerk in another city may not have the same responsibility. So I think that that's one of the things that this study does. It looks at that. As far as the need to look at our organization, do we have too many or not enough employees? We've somewhat done that. It's a continuous ongoing basis to do it. But we also have to rely upon our management staff to help out in that. Again, each unique city is different. You know, just because this person has a title doesn't mean that they only do what most cities' employee does with that title. So I think that there's a need that we look at that. To have an outside organization come in, we somewhat did it with Public Works. We did it with police. And then with the rest of the staff, I think it's something that we just have to do within ourselves. I think that that's money that we don't need to spend there. I think we need to look at our salaries and benefits. And that's what this program does by adopting, by taking the total recommendation. We have to make sure that it's not just salary, it's benefits. Now that's difficult sometimes to sell, especially some of the employees that, you know, unfortunately a lot of younger employees don't look at the benefits. But we all know that those benefits are expensive. And that's something that I've been preaching for years and years and years that we haven't done. We haven't done a compensation study of benefits and money. And that's what this does. And that's an extremely important tool because, again, the benefits cost us money. I don't know the percentages. I used to know what they were when I was in the business, but now it's a lot higher than what it used to be, the percentage of benefits. And so that's important for us to look at. It's important that we have all that data from an outside third-party source because this gives our HR team and our management team tools when they are trying to sell the city, whether they're out at these job fairs or wherever they're at. This gives them the tools that we're not saying we're the best. We're not saying we are higher paid. Here's a study. Here's what has been done. We can show you. And then it gives us opportunity, once we have that benchmark, and what this program does here is it helps train our HR people, which we haven't done before in the past, to help keep us up with that, to where I'm looking at down the road. I don't know how many years down the road I'm going to be here, but I'm suggesting down the road we look at changing that ordinance to not requiring we do that by a third party, but that we do it within house. I think we can do some of this in-house and not continue to spend the money for doing it outside, but there is a need for it. I had the opportunity because I've had my nose into this area for a long time, and staff has known it's been a thorn in my side to make sure we do it. And so I was requested or asked if I would mind helping out with the process. I didn't do much of it. I will say that right up front. Number one, I wasn't here. I was down in Florida. But I did come in on the tail end. I did have opportunity to sit down and go through them. I sat down, as you guys know, I like to look at nitty-gritty things. And I was very impressed with these documents. The professionalism of the staff that they have chosen, I think, is right there. There's somebody that appears to me that has done this in the past and knows what they're doing. The reports, I've looked through the reports that they provide. I was very impressed. I was extremely impressed with the time that they are going to, it appears are going to be spending with talking to the staff. And yes, no disrespects to any staff, but every person thinks they're overworked and underpaid. I do. I'm overworked and underpaid. We all think and if we don't think much about ourselves. We all think we need to be, you know, we'd like to have less work and more pay. But I think that they will constructively be able to look at that and see if we do have some that are in that situation. See if we do have some that maybe there's some job coordination where we can do one person can do two jobs rather than two people. Maybe that's there, maybe not. But this gives us that opportunity to look at it. It's the timing on when they're going to do this report. I know there was at least one of the reports that was a little bit, it was challenging as far as when they were going to have it completed. That's extremely important. We got to have this completed. We have to have this in staff's hands by late summer so that they can do the work that they need to do to work on on budget preparation. So that had an important role in picking the right team. And I go back to the compensation and benefit. I fully support moving forward with this. We talked about it in budget. We talked about that this was a need that we needed to do. If we felt that we shouldn't do this first and should do the other one first, budget time should have been when we talked about that. There's been a lot of time spent on putting this together, and I just want to say to the board, you know, if we need to think a little bit longer at budget time. And if we need to spend longer on it, I totally agree, because we don't need to be coming now at this stage and saying, well, we shouldn't do this now, we shouldn't do this, we should be doing something else. If that's what we think, and that's what the majority of us think, we need to have that discussion before staff has spent all this time and energy to do all this. So I think that I put the time and energy in at that time, and I fully support this and would be happy to move forward with it. Said a lot, but I had a lot to say about it. Thank you.
Alderman Barilla.
I just have a quick question for Maddie. What is the difference in the RFQs with the alternates and the bid sheet? Like, what do those represent?
The alternate one was if they were to rewrite all of our job descriptions, which after receiving the bids back on that, I don't think that's necessary for us to do. I think Abby and I are capable of doing that. And then the alternate bid 2 was the total compensation package analysis. So PayPoint HR, they came in with a base bid of $32,500, and then alternate bid 1 and alternate bid 2 were each $5,000. Which that alternate bid 2 cost, I mean, compared to the others that actually bid out on that, I think the next closest one was like $9,000 or $12,000 or something like that. So theirs was much more cost effective than any other.
And do any of these give any like type of projections for like the growth or anything like that, or it's just what we have currently?
What we have currently, but they did say if we have any positions that we're looking to integrate into the city, we can provide them with those job descriptions and they can give us an outlook on that.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Hoffman.
Well, I was opposed to this during the budget. I'm opposed to it now. I think we can completely do this internally. We just demonstrated we could do it. We identified a problem with the police force, and we solved it internally. We didn't spend $37,000 on it. I think we could spend this $37,000 in a better place or not spend it at all. So I will be voting no.
Any other comments or questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve first reading?
Motion to approve first reading.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose, let's do a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
No.
Write this on.
Alderman Barilla.
I would have went for a table first, but I'm gonna say no.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
I hate to oppose this, but I want to stand by my comments that I feel like staffing levels and responsibilities should supersede salaries and benefits, so I'm a no.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
No.
All right, motion does not pass. Next, we move on to Bill 26-40, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing expenditure of funds for promotional efforts to support Midwest Blue Oval Club for an amount not to exceed $4,000. City Administrator Devin Lake, please.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the board. We received a request from Midwest Blue Oval Club, which is the same organization that did a car show last October and requested funds at that time. They have now requested $4,000. Their request last year was $500. My recommendation, as much as I want to support these people, and their event is charitable, but it typically does not fall in line with what we have historically given. So my recommendation would be to reduce that to $3,000.
To do what?
Reduce it to $3,000. That's a typical amount. April would graciously printed this out for me today, of history of what we have given to events back to 2020. And there's only been 2 in those 6 years that we gave more than $3,000 to. But I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Alderman Hoffman.
They don't have a representative here?
They do not.
Did they send in any kind of statement or anything?
Yeah, they sent in the same request for event support that they sent in the last time.
What exactly is it that this organization does? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that in the package.
It says it's a car show and cruise to support local charities. They will be supporting the Changing Table, the Lamb House, and they are looking for a 3rd charity. And it's held at the Inn at Grand Glaze. It'll be October 16th and 17th.
Yeah, and I attended that, Alderman Hoffman, last year. Actually,
Is it the same one?
it is. It's in at Grand Glaze, and then as the mayor, you pick your picks, and they came in here and presented a nice award, and when it's done, and all the money they do raise for veterans, they actually gave me a nice veteran emblem as well, and they support the veterans, and so it's a good organization.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was the same organization, and I think this is the first time that anyone's ever asked for money and someone hasn't come up here and spoke. So I just thought maybe they were out of town, didn't know if it's the same crew. But I do agree with our city administrator that 3,000 seems like the number, but that's all.
Alderman Rucker, do you have something?
Yes. First of all, I remember when they were here last year and they presented, and I would think that one of the reasons they've asked for more is because some of the aldermen told them to. Some of the aldermen on this dais told them to ask for more. I wanted to say at that time that I didn't think it was appropriate, but that's why they did what they did. I don't have any problem supporting it. I've always said that these kind of functions are stuff that we should help to get them started and get them going. And I don't have any problem with that. But when you look at their budget, they don't need our money. When you look at the budget, they can provide this without any money from us. The money that we give them is going to increase the amount that goes to a charity. I don't have any problem with charities. I don't have any problem with that either. But that's not, in my opinion, what the original concept of this ordinance was, and I was one of the ones that voted on this original one. So I don't have any, I don't have any problem supporting it. I have a problem supporting it at $3,000. I really have a problem supporting it at $500 because again, their budget shows that they don't really need that, but I do know that all situations have to have a little bit of cushion on them. And so I would consider making a motion for 500. That would be my consideration, but I'm not making the motion, I'm just telling you where I stand. Thank you.
Alderman Osteen.
I was one of the individuals last year that said they should ask for more money. But of course, that was based on the information we're given at that time and the projections on the amount they would raise by holding this event. I do have concerns with their budget because basically the revenue or income they produce from this event basically just covers their expenses. So it's a net zero value as far as the money raised for a charitable operation. So any money the city gives, basically, that is the amount of money that they have to donate to specific charities. So I don't like the idea that, once again, it is a net revenue generating event unless we basically, look at this one.
The bottom one is donations to charities.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I agree with Alderman Rucker that I don't think the numbers really support an increase on what we've done previously until their final line basically can show us that it is generating additional monies or more towards what they are contributing to charitable organizations. I just have some issues with the numbers.
Alderman Collins.
Oh, I was just going to second the motion of Alderman Rucker.
I know he didn't make a motion.
He did make a motion.
No, I said I would.
I thought he said,
No,
I'm
I said I
sorry.
would be willing to, but I didn't make it at this point. I wanted
All right.
further discussion.
All right, I'm sorry.
I agree with Alderman Rucker. I'd go up to $1,000 for it, but I wouldn't agree to go more than that. I
No.
would be perfectly fine with doing 500 again.
Any other comments, questions, motions? Yes, sir. Wait a second. Alderman, I'm sorry, Alderman. City Attorney has a question here.
I was just going to add that legally, we can't donate to charity. The purpose of this program is to support events that bring tourism to the city. And so if we're doing it and we believe it's just going to be a donation for charity, then there's a constitutional problem with that. We don't donate to charity with taxpayer dollars. So if we believe it is supporting an event, if the board believes a certain amount supports an event that will drive economic activity and benefit to our citizens, that's one thing. But if it's a charitable donation to a worthy organization, which this seems like it is, although noble, that is, I would have real concerns with that. So I just wanted to say that out loud.
Well, and I will tell you too, when I was there last year, I know the event wasn't as well attended as they'd hoped, but it was still packed at the Grand Glaze Airport. I mean, they brought people in from all over the state and had their nice cars. They spent money at the Grand Glaze. They spent money. They were here for about 3 days, and it was quite the. And then they did the awards, and I know certain cars got, I don't know if it was monetary award, but prestigious awards and trophies and stuff. So it did bring people here, and I think they'll build on it. I know, I think it's Grain Valley is where they're from, and they have like 500 cars at some of the other ones. I think it will build. I think it'll continue to bring people here, so.
What did we give last year?
500.
Okay. Would it be worth tabling and reaching, I mean, I think maybe they just don't understand how to put I can't see them having an event and not having any cost to it at all. I mean, that would just mean that everything that they had to do had to be donated.
Well, what I saw, and I'm not speaking for them, but they had medals, they had trophies, they had a tent outside, they had entertainment, they did the taps.
Yeah, I mean, typically there's wristbands, there's
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
there's, so, whether maybe we table it and reach back out to see if there is a cost to it, so we can say that we're not just giving money to a charity that they would like to give it to, but helping to cover their costs.
Would you like to make that motion?
Well, before you do that, can I get in?
Sure.
Yeah. One, just to address what Cole brought up, that there is a tourism factor there. I don't think that this is something where we're donating to charity. I'm comfortable with that because it's bringing traffic in. I think, and this is my question to Cole or to Tara, if we were to amend this to 500 now as a first reading, and they were to come in and demonstrate, we could make a floor amendment on the second reading, couldn't we, to alter that number? Then I think that's more effective than tabling it, is my point.
And if I could add, just in response to that, if, in the meantime, I would encourage you all to read 110-400. That's the ordinance that this is authorized under, and it has some pretty specific criteria, and just make sure that y'all are comfortable that they're met here. Because we've got a test for what we believe qualifies for this. And I mean, if there's a ton of people here, then I think that $500 is pretty easy to justify. But if the budget says pure profit and we're giving them 4,000, that's harder to.
I would agree.
That's harder to defend.
I just think that procedurally, it's going to be easier to do that, make a floor amendment on the second reading rather than tabling it, and personally, but defer to everyone else.
Alderman Rucker.
Well, I think about it, I think I was over generous because when I read their document, I cannot support this. I didn't, shame on me, I thought I did reviewed my packet, but must have been a commercial break, I missed out. But they specifically say that money will be added to the amount that will be donated to the charity. This estimate does not include any funds we receive from the city. The money will be added to the amount that will be donated to charity. I can't support that.
Alderman Hoffman.
They could theoretically come back and say in their budget that they're going to use this towards marketing, correct? I know what they have now,
What we're
but if we tabled it or whatever, they could alter that and say, oh, we're actually going to use this towards marketing. Maybe they can do more marketing than they were going to do. Am I correct?
They could. The quote that Alderman Rucker just read gives me a real pause. So I hate to rain on a parade, but.
Well, no, I would say they should start over, is my point.
Alderman Collins. Did you have something?
I agree that the amount will be donated to charities makes it an illegal request. So I think we should vote it down, and if they want to represent with a new plan of our sponsorship, then we can take a look at it again if they represent or reapply, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right, do you have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman.
Oh, I thought you wanted it to go to a vote. Oh, I already seconded it
With
now.
the second, it dies on the dais.
All right,
Second, we
let's
have
do
to
a
vote.
roll call vote, please. We have a first
Die
and a
anyway.
second.
For the 1,000?
Alderman Osteen?
No.
Alderman Morose?
Excuse me, would you repeat what the motion is?
The motion
This
is
is
to
for the
approve the
$4,000.
$4,000.
No.
Alderman Collins?
No.
Alderman Rucker?
No.
Alderman Barilla?
No.
Alderman Hoffman?
No.
All right. Motion does not pass. Bill does not pass. All right, next we have a motion to approve work order number 1 of George Butler Associates for the architectural and engineering plan, renew of Oasis Motel Hotel, Marriott Hotel, in the amount not to exceed $52,185. Building official Ron White, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of the board. I'm requesting authorization to proceed with architectural and engineering plan review services for the new Oasis Marriott Hotel, Motel, whatever title the mayor just gave it. We know where it's at, by George Butler Associates, GBA, for an amount not to exceed $52,185. GBA was among those firms selected following the RFQ for engineering, utility planning, and architectural and facility services opened July 11th, 2025. As per section 500.020 of the Osage Beach Municipal Code, plan review fees when the total valuation of a proposed building exceeds $100,000, a plan is required to be submitted. A plan checking fee shall be paid to the city of Osage Beach at the time of submitting the plans and specifications for checking. Such plan checking fee shall be 1/2 of the building permit fee set out above and shall be a credit toward the total building permit fee when the building permit is issued. The estimated valuation of this project is $145 million and includes approximately 4,500 pages of plans and specifications. The plan review fees were received from the permit applicant on March 9th, 2026, and will cover the full cost of the recommended review services. The scope of work and contract are included in the packet, and the Building Inspection Department does recommend approval. I will say that there is not a budget sheet on here. However, the budget for this is under 1008-733-800. We budgeted $50,000 for the professional services. The 2185 will be a budget transfer request to Devon. That takes care of the accounting portion, although we have received the monies from the Oasis project to cover this plan review fee. So it makes sense to those who do accounting. So that's all I have on that.
Alderman Hoffman.
That was my question. It's more to just clarify for the public. We aren't exactly spending $57,000 here, or $52,000, right? This is just part of the TIF package, and essentially they're paying for it. Is that correct?
TIF.
No.
Are we spending $52,000 on this?
I'm going to say yes, because April's shaking her head yes, and she knows a lot more about accounting than I do. So if you come in for a building permit and you're doing a $100 million project and your permit fee is $100,000, but I can get that plan review done for $20,000, you're providing the $20,000, but then we're paying that $20,000 out to the plan reviewers. So yes, we are going to incur that fee, which otherwise we would take in as revenue on the building permit side. But if we didn't do this with George Butler and Associates, the time it would take for me to review a $145 million hotel, 12-story, yada, yada, they're probably wanting that permit before the 2-year span that it's going to take me. So yes, it will be an expense to the city because we're paying it out of what would otherwise be our building permit fee revenue. Thank you, April.
Yeah, it
Revenue
decreases our
neutral.
permit revenue is all it does. But I mean, yeah, we are paying that. Normally, we would get that much more in permit revenue, but not on this particular one.
And is all of that because this is involved in the TIF, or is this just independent of that?
Nothing to do with the
Is it
TIF.
Nothing to do with the TIF? It's just because of the size and scope of it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, thank you.
Alderman Rucker.
Well, just to give you a little history, it's not uncommon for large projects to be, not to have the local authority do the inspect, or do the review of the plans. Cities, fire services, they all, because the building departments can only, handle so much workload. And with something like this is an extreme lot of work that needs to be done in a very short time. So this is very common. It's what the other thing it is referred to as revenue neutral. Yes, we're going to spend $52,000, but we're going to get $52,000 in money. They're going to give us the money, we're going to put it in on revenue, and we're going to spend it out on the expenditure side. The other thing is when you have projects, and this is no disrespect to this building department or any building department, but when you have projects that are bigger in dollars, there are also uniqueness to the types of construction. And again, that's something that your local building departments are not familiar with, do not do on a regular basis. This is going to be a multi-story commercial resident or hotel, and so therefore you go to a firm that has the expertise in that. And that's, again, it's common practice. My question to you, Ron, is even though this is a firm that we have approved for architectural or for work when we did this back for a number of months ago, if you don't feel that this firm is capable of handling a hotel project or any other project, I fully support you bringing forth another firm that's not within the realm of those that we picked. But we picked a general broad basis of those firms to consult us. But, if we have a uniqueness that they can't fulfill, I would support you not using one of them and using somebody else. So that's
Thank
my
you.
question to you. Do you feel comfortable that this firm is capable of doing the type of work we're wanting them to do?
100%. And
Okay.
they do this type of work from coast to coast. They're a very large company that comes with very high recommendations, and they have a department specific, their engineers, architects, to building code trades and plan reviews. The last time we did this was for the towers at Parkview Bay. The International Code Council did that plan review service. But now that more large firms are getting into this, there's much more competition in pricing. And when I originally bid this out, when the project came forth in 2024, GBA was in there, and they were much less than ICC. But yeah, I've done the due diligence on researching their company, and as part of their RFQ, they had to provide us all of their experience, and sources were checked. And yes, I have full confidence in them.
That's all I have.
All right. Anyone else? Alderman Collins.
How much is their building permit? Is it more than $52,185?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. That's all I needed. Thank you.
That's easy question. Yeah. Anyone else?
So just to follow up, just so you understand, yeah, there's going to be some more work that we're going to have to do because we're going to have to inspect it, and there'll be a lot of other work, so that's why their building permit is more than that.
I understand. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, this is a motion. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Roos, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, motion is approved. Next, we have another motion to approve the paving of the lakefront roadway at the Osage Beach City Park for an amount not to exceed $87,052, and he still didn't change his name on here.
He's not here anyway.
I know he's not here, but I almost said it again. So you're going to take this over, Devin?
No, April.
April? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Tonight, we are requesting approval to pave the lakefront at the city park. It's an unbudgeted capital improvement, and although this wasn't part of the fiscal year 26 budget, it is a straightforward opportunity for the city because the Special Road District has agreed to fully reimburse the city for material cost up to $100,000, and the project materials estimate is just over $87,000, so we're well within that limit. The work will be completed entirely in-house by our Parks Department and Transportation Department using their new paver that's supposed to arrive in May. And thanks to consistent attention from our Parks Department over the last few years, the unpaved road is passable. There was a couple years where it wasn't, where it was maybe a four-wheel drive, a Jeep. So it is in passable shape now. However, paving it gives us a long-term, reliable solution, making that lakefront area much more accessible. And although the lakefront area is used heavily now, many residents and visitors we chat with, they still don't know that our city park borders the Lake of the Ozarks. So improving this roadway will allow more people to enjoy one of the park's best amenities. And so if the board approves this request tonight, Eric will put a budget amendment on the April 16th agenda, increasing the park improvements expense line item, and then equally increasing the community and park donations revenue line item for that revenue that we'll receive from the road district. So in short, this lets us improve a heavily used area of the park for cost, a no net cost to the city. And can answer any questions that you have.
Anybody have any comments or questions? Alderman Rucker.
There will be a cost to the city, will there not?
Indirectly in staff, you know, labor, but all of
Okay.
the materials cost will be
Is
covered.
Lakefront roadway a plotted road?
No, that's already happening, though. I forgot to ask Eric the details on that, but do you know, Carrie? Has he worked with you on that? I have no clue. Jeff, did he work with you on that? Okay, that's happening already behind the scenes.
But I was at that special road
Okay.
district, and they are going to request that it be platted the same way we did the road previously down at the dog park.
Yeah, and that's already happening.
So that is an expense.
In motion.
That is an expense that we will incur. The last time we did that, the last project, I believe it was like $6,000-7,000 that it cost us.
Yes, I'm sorry, I do not have that readily
The
available.
one for the park.
Was that the one he sent you the budget transfer on?
I didn't get a budget transfer.
Okay, if you'll give me a
Jeff, can you
second.
give us some information?
I believe those survey and design costs are on that scale that you just mentioned. I did see some numbers at one point. So there will be that expense. What I don't know is if he has that in his line item already.
I have that.
So I just want to make sure that there is an expense that we will incur because there is that survey work that will have to be done. I don't know what it costs, but for some reason, I believe the survey work that we did that cost us money for the city park road to be done was like $7,000. I thought that's the number.
Yeah, this one
I
is
think that-
less. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, you're right, I didn't mean to mislead on that because there is a cost to that. He gave that to me. I'm so sorry, I did not have that ready. He would have been able to
I'm not
rattle that
opposed. I
off.
just want to make sure make sure it's out there that everybody knows.
I'm looking, yeah.
Any other questions for anybody?
Well, I'll just to clarify, I don't know if everyone on the board was here when we did it the last time, but the special road district cannot do it unless it's platted the way
Right.
that they're asking us to do it, so.
Are you okay with
$3,500.
$3,500? Okay.
And
There
so
no-
he is, sorry, he
I'm
is
sorry?
sending that to Devin for a budget transfer.
All right.
I'm trying to remember where he had room in his budget, but yeah, so that will be a direct expense, you're right.
All right. Do you have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Rose, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. Last item, what the heck have we got here? It's me. Been sitting here all night waiting. Yeah, but it doesn't show me, all I go and I click on it, goes to that, yeah. Wonder why that is. Oh, that's right. All right, motion to approve the special use permit 416 amendment, Richard Ellerman, to allow an additional 2 residential units, 32 total, in commercial district Gary Patterson, please.
Yes, Mayor, members of the board, I'm certain that you all recognize this piece of property. It's pretty simple what they're asking us for. Initially, we approved their SUP to allow 30 total units on the property. Since that time, they've acquired about a half an acre from one of the neighbors so that they could relocate the drainage facilities onto that property, which opened up some land in the original property to put an additional 2 units. They brought it to us and asked if we could bring it forward to you all. I took it to the Planning Commission at their meeting in March, and they forwarded it to you for a recommendation to approve.
Questions, comments? Alderman Hoffman.
Just a quick comment. This is 2 more units of affordable, or whatever terminology you want to use. So I fully support this, and I'm really excited about that project opening up.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Alderman Rucker.
What's the situation on the road down there?
Well, we're still in the process of working on it. We've got the plans have been completed, and at this point, it will be one of those things where we hand those plans over to the developer to find their contractor, whoever is going to do it. And whether or not the road district helps with that doesn't really matter one way or another. The road will be completed before it's fully CO'd.
That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
What else? Just to clarify, this was a unanimous decision by the board of P&Z to move forward with this? That's all.
All right, anyone else? All right, a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose, gotcha. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, motion carries. All right, staff communications, start City Administrator Devin Lake, please.
Good evening. The only update I have this evening is we finished our first book club in the city. We have almost every department represented, which was amazing. We had, I think it was 24 participants. It was great. We had a lot of great discussion, and we are starting our next book in a couple of weeks. So it went really well. I think this is an awesome move for us to help with culture. So that's all I have.
All right, Assistant City Administrator April White, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to commend the Parks Department on a very well-ran Easter egg hunt last Saturday at the city park. There were 35,000 candy-filled eggs that were gathered up in no time. 12 of those 35 eggs were golden eggs with golden tickets inside that revealed a new bicycle. So thank you to Victory Church. They have been a wonderful partner in this event for years, and they supplied, I think, over 30 volunteers, hundreds of free hot dogs. Also, a big thank you to the Shriners because they donated 8 of the 12 bikes that were given away. We thought they were only bringing 4, and they brought 8. So we ended up having to really quickly make 4 more golden eggs. By we, I mean Caitlin. The weather was perfect, and we had a huge turnout, and I think it was the best year yet. And then based on online viewer feedback, the IT department has made some great changes to the way our viewers see our meetings. They have added an agenda link to the live stream on both YouTube and Facebook, so viewers can more easily follow along with the packet. And they have also made a way to incorporate presentations, so that way viewers can see the PowerPoint slides rather than, when they're looking up here and they can see it in super miniature format or font, now they can see it on their screen. I wanted to thank Devin for that book club idea. We wrapped up that first book yesterday and got some great feedback from everyone. I think that's been a phenomenal idea, and I've really enjoyed it. Last thing is, Bill 2640, bummer. Ever since that was passed at the budget meeting, I know people have just burned Maddie's door up. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Bill, 2639. So we're going to have to reach out and figure some stuff out here. I know the biggest comment on our survey from employees was compensation. So it's hard to battle that without, with the failure of this bill. So we'll be either bringing a discussion item or trying to get some aligned direction on that from you all. So more to come on that, hopefully. That's all I have.
All right, City Attorney Cole Bradbury.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
City Clerk, Tara Barrett.
I have some great news. I got the new code books in today. I'll bring the ordinance, I'll hand them out after we approve the ordinance. I want to do a first and a second reading next week, next one, just because I want it to be under the 2-year mark. And we started in May of '24, if that's all right. But no, I don't have to. But yeah, they're in, they're done, they're all put together, they look beautiful. So I think that's all I have. Oh, and I want to give kudos to Keegan, Selena, Angie, and Annie. They helped out tremendously with the Mayor's Appreciation Dinner. I know I got it all on Tuesday night, but they actually did a lot of the decorating in-house to get me ready too. So thanks to them for helping me. Thanks.
Chief Davis.
Yes, we were awarded the Blue Shield designation for 2026. The police department was in the city. So we got that again this year. We were awarded Freya was awarded a vest, a stab-resistant and bullet-resistant vest from Vested Interest in Canines. So the vest is valued at $1,800. So she is now a little more protected when she's out there chasing the bad guys. So that's all I have.
Chief, have you seen that show on A&E, the K9? Belushi does it? Have you seen it?
I don't guess so.
It's awesome. Check it out on A&E. It's the same one that does the Ozark Law, because we were watching it last night, and there was a person that jumped off of a bridge. And I'm talking 30 feet to water. The dog jumped too. And the officer thought the dog was dead, and the dog landed in the water, swam to, it was fine. But yeah, it's a great show. Anyway, congratulations. All right, Ron White, how about you?
Couple of updates on the city projects as far as in-house here. The 911 center is coming along, I would say flawlessly, but you know, it's whenever you remodel an existing building, we have some things to work through, but actually the contractors are doing great, and it's coming along just fine. U.S. Disaster Relief reached out today, and we are scheduled to start the carpet replacement next Tuesday. We're working on the scheduling, and so there will be some folks in that back corner all the way up. I'll be serving eviction notices early next week, so look forward to that. That's all I have to report. Thank you all very much for your support on the adoption of the new codes. It says a lot to the community, and it says a lot for your interest in the safety of our citizens. Go Cubs.
Maddie Boone.
Thank you, Mayor. I did want to speak to the failure of Bill 2639 as well. I would invite all of you to revisit your email that I sent you back on February 3rd about the employee engagement survey. Please look at that PDF again, and I would draw special attention to the areas needing improvement and focus areas that the staff called out, because our top one is the compensation perception among our staff. So I know I'm going to have people at my door tomorrow, more than likely, wanting to know why this failed and what our next direction is. So I do look forward to hopefully having a discussion item on future agendas to discuss next steps, because this is something that they are going to be wondering what my clear direction is going forward. But beyond that, Abby and I have been meeting with benefits vendors to set up open enrollment visits for them to come out and meet with staff so that they can take advantage of the benefits that the city pays a lot of good money out for, and making sure that they know how committed we are to making sure that they are physically and financially well while they work for us. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
All right, Carrie Bell, Treasurer, please.
Yes, Mayor and Board of Aldermen. Me and Todd both have some good news today. The city, myself, Tommy, and Todd have been working on the GMT grant, which you see in your ambulance fund on the revenue, and you also see a piece on the expense side. The city has been gaining that since about 2021. And the revenue has gone down a little bit in the last couple years, and we had received notice for what we're going to receive. Our normal receipts are down about net of 1,000, but we did receive news that the state has utilized the managed care data to calculate an additional payment that we will receive this year. And the net amount of that is going to be almost 53,000. So we'll have that in the ambulance fund this year. We do have to pay, so it'll be a budgetary issue. We have to pay a little bit. But yeah, we were, and Tommy went to some training that stated that possibly this could occur again. They've committed to this year, so maybe we'll have it again next year. That's all I have.
Very good, thank you. Ty Dinsdale, Airport.
I have nothing to add this evening, thank you.
All right. Jeff Fisher, Public Works.
Nothing to report, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Kerry Patterson, Planning.
Yes, sir. So we have a pretty heavy planning commission meeting coming up, which of course will be all coming to you all the first week of May. So I would suggest if you get a little time to watch the planning commission meeting, take a look at that, and you can hear everything that goes on there and all my reports. I do want to thank Tara. She helped me get the planning commission meetings, planning commission packets out today to give the planning commissioners around 5 extra days to go over it, because we do have 4 cases, and that's quite a bit more than what they're accustomed to doing. So like I said, if you get a chance to watch the planning commission in action, I would suggest you do it, because it's coming right to you all after we get done with it. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Collins.
When is the Planning Commission meeting?
April 14th.
Awesome, noted. I just want to say thank you to Tara and your team. The Mayor's Appreciation Dinner last night was fantastic. All the decorations looked really cute, and food was fantastic. The Elks Club did a great job. And yeah, I just want to say thanks, it looked fantastic. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Alderman Rose.
Kudos, very impressive. And also, I'd like to just comment again, I think I'd sent an email to Tara, but thanking her and the committee on that volunteer appreciation dinner. It was very, very nice and well done and neatly decorated, and I thought the centerpiece was really a highlight. Anyway, otherwise, safe travels, everybody, and happy Easter weekend.
All right, thank you. Alderman Osteen.
Oh, boy. I wasn't sure what I was going to state this evening. Usually, before I make any comments, I would like to think that they are well thought out and eloquent, but I debated on comments I wanted to make this evening. I even wrote a big speech. But I decided to basically, I'm not going to basically go down that path. The speech was basically about opinions, and we all have a lot to say about opinions because we all have our own opinions. But I thought I'm just going to table this conversation for a later date. So I'm just going to keep it very simple. I would also like to thank the mayor and staff for the appreciation dinner. I think it's a vital event to thank all the individuals that serve on the boards and serve on behalf of the city on all the different committees. I would like to thank Eric Gregory and all staff to put on the Easter egg hunt. I feel like as this continues to grow, we're eventually going to have to put a cap on the number of attendees because it seems to be getting crazy with the amount of thousands of people that are attending. At some point, we're going to say, hands up, we can't do any more. Too many people. I would like to clarify with staff and our employees regarding the defeat of Bill 2639. No one on this board is not in favor of discussing compensation for our employees and staff. The reason this was defeated is because there are members of the board that thought there were priorities, myself, that should be done before we get into the conversations about compensation. Other members thought there were other avenues we could use to get to a finalized decision on our compensation and where we stand, but no one basically objected that compensation wasn't first and foremost something we needed to discuss. So I know there's going to be a lot of pushback on it, but I just want to be clear that no one is opposed to having those discussions regarding compensation, just different avenues, different priorities first. That's all. Oh, get out and vote.
Yeah.
November 7th. Or November 7th. April 7th.
November
election already.
Mayor dinner was awesome. Great work, Tara, your staff. The prime rib was absolutely on point. Thank you, Elks Lodge. I will address 2639 too. I'll go a little further. I echo what Alderman Osteen said, but I'll go a little further with it. Quite frankly, I think that, sure, we're all about compensating properly. I don't think there's anyone on this board who doesn't want to look at that, but I'm of the opinion that I value your opinion and your evaluation and Devin's evaluation more than I do a third party for $37,000. And I think that you all can demonstrate that to us, and we're moving forward and getting it done without spending any money. That's just the way I look at it. Could be wrong, but that's where I'm at with it. Ty, great work on the Community Cup at the airport. We had some good people up there. It was very interesting. We had one guy who knew a lot about airports and planes, so I thought that went really well. And lastly, the TIF committee last night. I want to thank everyone involved. Some of the TIF committee members came in early to discuss how we were going to do procedures. I had conversations with Commissioner Skelton all week. Thank him for that and being available to us, and to the public for showing up. And it's just great to see the room full and so many people optimistic about this moving forward. I thought that Chris Foster did a great job and came up and spoke, and it went really smoothly, and that was something I was very proud of and very happy to see. And Mr. Spikerman and Cole, all of your hard work is very, very much appreciated. You guys do not get enough credit for the work that you do behind the scenes, and I know I, for one, very much appreciate that. And I very much appreciate the work that Foster and his team has been doing too. So that being said, I hope that just continues to move forward, and I get to be the first one to walk into Bass Pro. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Alderman Umbrella.
I just want to say the appreciation dinner was very nice, so thank you, Tara, and your team for that, and happy Easter.
All right,
Go vote.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes, I have a couple of comments. First of all, I'm sure the board remembers I've spoke many times about the joint sewer board and my participation with that. And I want to say thanks to Jeff Fisher. I brought up a concern, or no, I won't say it's a concern. I brought up something last year during our process about making sure we've got good management teams, and Jeff was forethought enough to say, well, why don't we use some kind of a critique that we critique them? It's like, oh, well, yeah, we ought to do something like that. And so that's now come around, and we got through all the other stuff, and Jeff started to work out. I just threw out, said, okay, Jeff, we need to get started with that, and he's really helped out and given me a lot of information and stuff, and we're starting that process. So he's not just doing the job that you see here. There's other responsibilities that he's taking on that are behind the scenes that some of the board doesn't see, and the professionalism of that documented. And we're in a draft stage, but it's very good. So Jeff, thanks for that work on that. Telecommunicators recognition. I just have to tell you that I don't think that the board really understands the value. And if you haven't been there, it's hard for you to understand it. And I've been there at 2 o'clock in the morning, out in the middle of a raging fire, with a microphone there screaming for help and looking for more equipment and looking for this and that, and the people on the other end are the telecommunicators that are answering that and taking my becking orders and producing and getting assistance and being cool and calm when I'm not at that point, because I've just had a building collapse, and I could go on about those kinds of people. And the things they do. I'm sure many of you may have been in the center and sat with them, but hopefully you've not had to sit with them when all of a sudden they have somebody on the other line that is extremely hysterical or screaming or just a number of those things that you see on TV that can and do happen. So we do need to realize that those folks back in that little room, and they have to be in that little room with no windows because they have to be protected from wind, weather, and that's why we're putting them down in the basement to give them better protection. everybody here in the city does a good job. I'm not trying to take it away from anybody, but everybody does their role, but those folks have a uniqueness to their job, and so I thank them a bunch. Ron, I thank you very much for continuing on with my efforts that I started 25 years ago or so. I came to the lake from the metropolitan St. Louis area and found out that there was an extreme difficulty when the contractors would come in and bring in their stuff, and they're like, well, what code are you under? I mean, everybody around the lake was had a different set of playing rules, and that was very difficult. And from that point, the city of Osage Beach was right on board. It was at that point, it was Val Valent, who was city inspector and our building director, and anyway, and Ron has carried that on. But that is extremely valuable to those building people out there, to the contractors, to the architects, that they can take and say, okay, I don't have to worry about where the exact border is of the city of Osage Beach, the city of Camden, because what unique is right here is the fact that the city of Osage Beach and the Osage Beach Fire District have joint situations there where they could say, well, which one of those codes do I got to go by? They're the same. And there's a lot of effort that Ron and their group does by sitting down and having to agree. These code enforcement people have to agree with which is the best way to do this and do that. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot more than what Ron's talking about and presented here. There's many, many, many hours. And it's good for our community. It serves well to the people that are in metropolitan St. Louis area that come down here to work, because they can see that there's a common code. So kudos, Ron. That's a lot of work, and no, I won't be here in 6 years when you do it again. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you much. I just have a few things, won't be long. Yes, Tara Appreciation Dinner, I know I told you, but that was delicious, and thank you, Elks Lodge, for all those that helped the 250th anniversary. We found out that as mayor, you get to pick the gift, and the clock that we picked, that's beautiful. We originally picked to get a 250th emblem on there, and everything was good. And then they found out that the supplier said, hey, this is so much in demand, the 250th is, so they had to sign off on some agreement, and they had to pay a fee, and they couldn't do it. So the clocks turned out great. But if you have any 250th celebration stuff you need, order it now, because that's going to be a huge, huge event. And I'm so looking forward to our parade and fireworks and everything we're going to do here. That's going to be awesome. And thanks to the Elks, yeah, it was delicious. Easter egg hunt, yeah, Kim and I were down there. It was great. Eric's barking orders to April and having her blow the horn correctly. And I can't remember the number. The last group, didn't they do something like 11,000 eggs in 3 minutes or something like, is that close? 11,000 eggs in 3 minutes those kids picked up. It was just a great event. A couple of things I want to correct. Somebody was on a rampage the other day about our staff and how in the last 4 years that we've increased 50% in staff members. And so Devin did the research. We've increased 16% in the last 4 years. And if you look at the population, we're almost to 5,000 now, but I would venture to say, an educated guess, that our increase in staff level is not even up to the level of our population increase. So yeah, we've only increased 16% in the last 4 years, and appreciate all that you guys do to make sure the staff is happy. And yeah, so I support you folks 100%. Also, I wanted to read a little thing, another false information. Facebook out there is funny because somebody was out there, and I didn't come up with this. It was Eric Hundelt, but somebody was talking on Facebook about how they don't like the fact that a lot of the mom and pops are going away here because of all the big development. And I read this, I kind of did it by heart last night at the event. I was fairly close, but Eric Hundelt responded to this person saying that of all active businesses licensed right here in Osage Beach right now, only 14% are major chains. Of that, right now we have 86% of the businesses here in Osage Beach are locally owned. That's total retail, restaurants, services. And when you break the number down even further, 78% of the retail are local, 96% of the services are local, and 72% of food, bar, and restaurants are local. So There's a lot of misconception out there that a lot of times we support only large corporations. A lot of new developments are coming in here. But what was that saying, the Navy saying?
Rising tide lifts all ships,
There you go. That's what we have going
or
on.
loose lips sink ships. That's another one.
That's what we have going on right here. So we're going to continue to support local businesses as the backbone of Osage Beach, and we're going to continue to do that. Happy Easter, everybody. Safe travels. And as Alderman Osteen said, get out and vote on next Tuesday. So if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
We're not doing closed session.
We are not doing closed session, correct?
We are not?
No.
Motion to adjourn.
Why should,
Second.
We can if you want to, but I.
no, I just think that when we do that, we ought to be announcing it earlier, or we ought to be indicating it earlier for us to find out about it on the dais here at this stage of the game. I just have a problem with that.
All right.
It should be done a lot earlier.
That's my fault. I just didn't let you know.
All right, Alderman Hoffman,
Motion to adjourn.
is there a second?